So today I went house hunting. I've been doing it on the weekends for just about a year, looking at properties that are for sale. And in today's times, they've been moving off the market quickly, so you don't have a lot of time to make a decision. And that adds stress. In addition to buying a house is one of the most stressful things, now you're in like this pressure cooker. Then there's been some properties I've made offers on and I've backed out or gotten a bidding wars and the seller took a different offer. And it is a stressful thing to buy a home. To be honest, it's also a stressful thing over time, psychologically, not to have a home. Uh, it's not horrible either way. Okay. So, but what I'm trying to do is learn from my experience of once owning a home and trying to buy in the right size, the right price, the right location, and to have it complement my daily routine, not just buy a house to buy a house. Good to see you, Andre. Thank you for being first. And I went on RV hunting over the course of my past 5 years living on the road. But what I found is it doesn't solve where to park. And I'm okay with that. But once you find out where you want to spend 90% of your time, if you find that, it doesn't make sense to stay on the road. It's like you're spending money on a vehicle that's not appreciating on average, and you don't have a place to put it. And I'm not going to buy $50, $60, $100,000 vehicle and park it in a parking lot. I mean, it's just, doesn't make sense, okay, for me. So the issue I want to talk about tonight with house hunting, that you're faced with a dilemma. The cheaper you go, the further away from amenities you go, resources. Amenities would be a beach. Resources would be the supermarkets you like, the Starbucks, the gym. The more out there you go, away from these resources, amenities, hospitals, schools, etc., then the cheaper it gets. But the culture changes, and now you're going to spend more time in the car because you're going to be traveling to point A to point B to get these resources, to get these amenities. If you're like me, you're still relatively young and you don't want to spend most of your time in your house. So I say to myself, man, if I buy a cheap place, I love it financially, but I want to eliminate some time in the car. But buying a property away from everything makes me still be on the road just as much in many cases. And then you get to the opposite of that. The opposite of that is you buy in an excellent location, but you pay top dollar. So the good news is now you are right where you want to be. You're right by the beach. You're right by the stores. You're right by the hospitals or schools that you may need. The bad thing is you're paying for it, and you don't want to get to a point where you're tight financially, because then a house is not a blessing, it's a burden. Good to see you, Twister. Good to see you. I'm going to get to all the live comments. Thank you, Andre. Thank you, Twister. The middle ground, there's like three types of house hunting. You go for the cheapest, you go for the highest end, or you go for the middle. The middle ground is, it's not extremely far away from things, maybe 20 minutes. It's not close. It's not top end. It's in the middle. It's mild sauce. It's not hot sauce. And I like hot sauce. I'm an extreme person. I try to balance it, always try to be under self-control. But middle doesn't inspire me. But there are reasonable things that you can buy in the middle of your price range. If you're patient, in the middle of your price range, even in today's times, guys, I'm finding things. But I say, all right, well, the price is decent, and it's within 10, 15, 20 minutes max to all the resources, even the beach. And it's the middle. It's okay. But then I said to myself, man, it's not hot, it's not cold. It's in the middle. There's a scripture that says, you're neither hot nor cold, you're lukewarm, so I'll spit you out. Meaning like, you're not one or the other. You're not deciding on a direction per se. But, this, good to see you, Paul. I love you. And I wanted to say that I've been thinking about you. I love you. I love you, Twister. I love you, Andre. So I want to know your thoughts below in the live chat. And if you watch this, this is the three choices that you pretty much have when you're house hunting. You have cheaper land or cheaper property with a house on it, some type of home, but it's far away from everything. You have the most ideal location, may not be the best. Now look, when you get to the ideal location, you may not get the best looking property because now you're paying for the location, not the property. If you go far away, you may get a nice property, but not a good location. If you're in the middle, you're going to get that middle type feel. Jack Burris, $1.99 super chat. Location for the win. You just answered that. Jack, long-term better. That's an interesting question, Jack. Thank you and love to your family. Yeah, Paul, you were watching my stream last night. I apologize. I just want to say that I love you. I want to say that. Jack, you bring up an interesting thing because when I was talking to my mother today, if you have a mother and she's a good mother, I met some people don't have a good mother, try at least give her a call, video FaceTime, WhatsApp. So I called my mother and I told her, I said, well, Ma, I'm back in the game because I said I got three options again. I got one that's cheap. It's a little bit out there, though, one in the middle, and one ideal location right by the beach. Of course, the one right by the beach, very expensive. And, my mom, she's like, she likes the cheap things. She goes, Sam, get that cheap one. Now, the cheap one, to be honest with you, it's 40 minutes away from the beach, but I like that property the best. I like the way the property's set up, the privacy, and the little home base on it. What I don't like is it's 40 minutes from the beach. The community's not that big to walk around, and there's not many resources by. I got to drive, a half hour. I love the price. $40,000. Love that price. But I said to my mom, I said, Ma, I thought about that. I mean, I love it too. I love the price, love the property. I don't love the location per se. But I said, Ma, the only thing, I said, I don't think the property is going to always go up as fast as it has because I've been through the recession like you have. But, even if it takes a dip, I said, if I buy a property away from the beach, am I going to not be able to afford by the beach in 10, 20 years? That's a real reality. And that's what you got to think too. Like you only get to, for the average person, you only get to buy property or vehicles so many times. You're only going to buy so many RVs without going broke. You're only going to buy so many houses without going broke. Now you could be above average. Look, I want to keep my financial independence. If I buy the cheapest place, guys, I'm so financially free, I'm retired, I'm done. But I'm still working, but I could be. If I buy the middle one, it's middle. It's like, like I said, I'm going to work no matter what as long as I can be remote and I'm going to still do my creative ventures. The one by the beach is, again, I'm still below my means, but I'm thinking a little bit more about the money. Like, the low end one, I ain't thinking about it. Middle one, I'm like, The one on the beach, the highest end one, the location one. One is I love it because it's by the beach. Two is the community is big enough to walk without being like noticed all the time per se, even though people notice you. That's the thing I want to share with you too when you're house hunting. You want to look at the size of the community and your lifestyle. See, I'm outside a lot. I want to be in the house, even when I buy a home base. I'm sure of that. And that's why I want to kind of buy a place where I could just live in an RV lot, even if it has a mobile home on it. Now, the cheapest one has an old fifth wheel on it. The middle one has a mobile home. Now, I got no restrictions in the middle one, no HOA. But if that mobile home blows away or gets too old, I got to put another mobile home. I can't just put an RV. No HOA is a give and a take. Yeah, no one likes restrictions, but Your neighbors may not like restrictions either. I mean, it's a give and a take. The HOA is, look, it's everything has a give and a take. Bureaucracy with HOAs. What do you do? But I want to share, okay, very stressful looking for a home. And I'm trying to, this is it for me. I don't want to buy, see, that's the thing. I said, I bought one cheap, but I said, my dream is to be by the beach. Now, the property is cheap, guys. I love it. I love it more than the other two. And I love the community too. But I would have to do a lot of driving to do my daily routine. Your life is your daily routine. Your life is your daily routine. Your life is your daily routine. Your house should complement your daily routine. Now, look, I need, for me, at my journey, at my season of my journey, I need a home base, something to stabilize where I'm going at the end of the day. Bare minimum. I found the places that I like to be most of the time. I don't want to travel aimlessly anymore because I've done that enough to find out where I want to live. Campgrounds are good, but you got to keep moving. You can't stay there forever. And I don't want to live in an RV park, per se, period. And we're going to get to all these live comments. I want to thank all my members. I want to thank you, Jack. Shout out to you guys, man. Keep showing up. Remember that. Never give up. By the grace of God, through hard work. I don't care what you struggle with. We all struggle with something. The grace of God be with you. So, again, to share with you as a nomad, you say, why are you talking about houses? You're a nomad. Look, I became a nomad for me. Everyone's different. To reposition my life in Florida, cut my bills in half, and live by the ocean. But I needed to be a nomad to get my finances totally in order, even though they were in order, but to get them really in order, I need to figure out what part of Florida I want to live. And I need to figure out which type of property works best for my personality. Now, a single family house would just not work good for my personality. Number one, too much space. Number two, too much to take care of. Now, the middle one I'm looking at with no HOA, I got to do the lawn or I got to pay someone. I got to be the HOA. Not a big piece of property, so it probably could cost me $50 a month to pay someone, or I do it myself. I wouldn't be mad at doing it myself, but it's just not me. Even the mobile home one is probably too big for me. But like if I buy that, I can still sleep in my car. I park in that parking lot. No one's gonna bother me. I got a little bit of privacy. No one's gonna bother me. But I'm not at the beach, and I'm not so cheap that I don't have to think about it at all. I'm in the middle. I buy the cheapest one. I don't have to think about the money at all. I have to drive every day. And I got to put some work into, the lot is beautiful. And I to go to do my walks and everything, I still got to travel around. I love to walk, guys. I came to walk outside in the winter in Florida. I love the ocean breeze. Even though you get a nice breeze at the cheap one, I love that ocean breeze though. Like Marin would say, the negative ions. And look, here's the other thing I want to share with you in house hunting. Look at your environment. When I'm at the beach, when I walk the community many times, when I'm at the beach community, there's pelicans flying. I see them. There's more palm trees. There's more bikinis. That's an environment. When I'm at the small lot, it's a nice community. When I'm at the cheapest lot, it's a nice community. Another HOA, but it's a very peaceful community. I like it, but not big. No pelicans per se. No, not too many bikinis like gilfs. I'm not mad at it. When I'm at the middle property, no HOA, I walk down the street. There's a lot of redevelopment, which is good. I think the middle one would be the best investment because there's no HOA that appeals to a broader audience. You can turn it eventually into a single family house, and you own the land. But you walk up the street with no HOA, you got political flags sometimes, you got some mobile homes that are in disarray. I think the community is definitely an upswing, still good location. But it's tough, This is the dilemma, this is the stress of house hunting. I often compare it to dating. And that's why people a lot of times, I'm going to get married because dating is too stressful. Walk the property a second time. Slow down. Okay. All right, let's go to all live comments. That's my sermon tonight. Hopefully it helped you in some way. Thank you again, Jack, and all my members. Let's do these live comments. That's why you come. That's why I do it. Andre, thank you again. Twister. Hello, everyone. Sam, I just got called into work. Okay. Remember, I saw people burnt out today in Starbucks. But I want to tell you this. I showed up during a hurricane when not too many people did, and it really helped my career. I want to tell you, show up when no one else will. Why? Because in a year from now, if you showed up when they couldn't find help, and now they're not looking for help that much, you'll be the manager. It's true. He goes, I really didn't want to do it. I debated it all day. But I'm feeling really sick and thought it would be best if I just stay home. I'm going to get tested for COVID. Well, I know you have Crohn's disease, and you know your health better than me. So, that's your decision, and I respect and I love it. And when I was young, when I was in my 20s, I didn't always show up like for overtime all the time. I didn't always volunteer for extra work all the time. But I want to tell you, as you get older, when in doubt, show up and don't buy, because then you're going to be richer, less commitment. But I totally get that, Twister, and love to you, man. Are you vaxxed? Paula. Hey there, Sam and everyone. Paula, we love you. You are the life of the party. 2 hearts emoji. Jack. Here's Jack. I'll tell you, these Jayco trailers are really beautiful. I saw a couple today. I got some more RV reviews coming up. Just tough to buy an RV. It's tough to invest. Let's say at the cheapest end for a new travel trailer, you're going to spend at least 25 grand. And you got to have a tow vehicle. So if the tow vehicle plus the travel trailer, you're at least 50 grand. And then where are you going to park it? Now, campgrounds are good, some of them, but you can't stay there all month. You got to usually move every 2 weeks. RV parks can be good, but if they're good, you're going to pay for them. If they're bad, you're paying the same amount of money, $600, $800 a month, as your recurring bills would be if you had a paid-off property. So that's the dilemma. How much do you want to invest in nomad life? Because if you invest 100 grand into the nomad life, you're in that algorithm where you may not ever get out unless you're really loaded. If you invest 50 grand, you may not. Are you going to put 50 grand to the nomad life, pay to have places to park it, and then 10 years down the road buy a place by the beach? Not if you hit the lottery. Only if you hit the lottery. Other than that, you're going to price yourself out. That's why I haven't bought an RV or another vehicle, because I'm like, before I deploy this money, if I spend a lot on an RV, then there goes there goes the beach house. Okay. Now the middle one or the low end one, I could do the RV in that. But I have to ask myself, do I want to give up the beach home base? That's the question. Paula, I was just watching your live stream from last night. Well, I love you, and I want to say that again. I love you, and I respect you. Paula, I love you too, Sam. Thank you. Thank you for coming in. Doug, my man. Good afternoon, Sam. What's up, brother? Doug, get that beach property while you can, Doug. One is you're a positive person. I want to thank you for that. I look up to some of you. You're more positive than me at times, and I acknowledge it. I want to tell you, this has been the most stressful, I would say, 1.5 to 2 years, because I was in the home base market right before COVID. And then, for a year, I couldn't do anything because we were all like in lockdown. It was crazy. And then, last year, I kind of came to Florida when everyone was still in their house. And I started looking. And, then all of a sudden, especially right after the vaccines, the properties just shot right up. And you say, have I regretted not buying something? That's an interesting question. No. From an investment standpoint, I could say, yeah, if I would have bought this one property, I could have almost doubled my money. But remember, you don't double your money until you sell it. And then when I sell it, where am I going? See, that's the thing. Everyone tells you, yeah, but I'm not planning on selling. Okay? That's the whole point. So even if it went up 200%, it just means I have higher property tax. Obviously, you want it to go up, not down. So I'm not saying it's bad, but I'm saying you have to understand the reality of property. You don't make a dime till you sell. So, and if you're planning this your long-term property, you got to buy where you want to live, not just where you want to invest. Investments and owning are different, like as far as like your home base. Back to live comments. If I miss a comment, please type it again. Don't take it out of disrespect. I don't do it on purpose. Where are we at? ESP, hey ESP, good to see you. How are you? Shout out to you. Shout out to Alaska. ESP, I think you're in the Class B RV market over a home base. Am I correct? That's because of, possibly the point of the journey you're in. But I will say this. ESP, I believe you're around my age or middle age. I believe you have a relatively new Nissan NV200 mini cargo van. I want to encourage you to do whatever you want, but I want to encourage you, if you have a relatively new Nissan NV200, don't buy anything. Why? Spend some time on the road. Okay. Because, like last year you were in the Airbnb, maybe this year go back and you still want to travel. You don't need a Class B to travel. You need a good, reliable car that you probably already have, which is the Nissan NV200. Travel when you're ready, when you can, and figure out what areas you like most, and then figure out, do you want to invest more in a nomad life or a home base? Because once you invest in a nomad life, even if you find an area you want to spend most of the time, now you got to figure out how to stealth park or how to pay for campgrounds in that area rather than owning. And when 10 years goes by, you may be priced out. That's what you got to think about in life. Twister, financial independence is such a huge factor. It's true. I try my best to remember it during every big purchase. It's true, and I want to be fair. In my 20s, and you're in your 20s, early 20s, I spent money. Now, I worked, but I spent money. And I didn't really get my financial life together until late 20s, 30s. So, I understand, but I tell you, I also had something in back of my mind where I still was understanding I was, going to flip the switch. Like they said, like when Michael Jordan played, like he knew in the fourth quarter he was going to flip the switch. And they said, well, if Michael Jordan knows in his mind, like, he's going to get more serious when he's in the fourth quarter, why can't the other players do it? Because everyone can't flip that switch like that. So, remember, what may be easy for you, it may not. So I want to tell people that if you don't have that ability to flip that switch, be careful, because then you may just get buried alive, He goes, he thinks about things before every big purchase, good, but sometimes it leaves your mind. So, yeah, we're human. And you get seduced, all very easy. Remember, no one respects you after they seduce you. Seduction is the game. Once you've been seduced, game over. Never forget it. But more and more, I'm getting better. There you go. That's the best life. Twister, remembering it? Great. Paula, aka UBG Vlogs. Now that the market is bleeding, I'm now thinking about buying one of these sheds from Home Depot. They're only $12K. She continues. A couple of these sheds actually have a second floor, and a 6'3" human could live in it. She continues. Sam, tell me something. Why is my ex calling me? All right, well, let me talk about the shed first. The problem with a shed is at 12 grand, it probably doesn't have electric and water as far as it all finished inside. Even if it's finished inside, you still have to bring electric and water as, feeding the house. Then you have to find a municipality that will allow that to be your primary dwelling. They're sheds, not houses. Most municipalities will not allow a house under 500 or under 1,000 square feet. So now you're going to be in the cheapest spot in the middle of nowhere. And even though you got a cheap property, because the property I'm looking at in the middle of nowhere is well, not middle of nowhere, 40 minutes from the beach, it's 40 grand. So that's better than the shed. It's got a nice, but I don't know. Infinity $4.99. Love you, brother Infinity. I love you. I want you to live your dream. And remember, everyone out there, including my man Infinity, who wants to sell his condo, live in a travel trailer, and travel, you should, because I did. So I don't want to discourage people from traveling. I just want to say, Just like house buying. It's the same thing. And I practice what I preach. When I lived the nomad life, I was very conscious of how much I was going to spend on it, and I was going to spend nothing. I was going to live in the current car I lived and pile up money and pick up side hustles. So if you're retired, if you have extra money, don't feel bad for spending it. So I want everyone to remember, but a lot of people I'm meeting that are going on the road, they don't have extra money. They don't even have a job, or they have a very low income job. So just be careful. So Infinity, I love you. I thank you for that tip. Love to you, brother. I'm always praying and thinking for you. Keep doing your thing. Forward, show up. Let's do it. All right, Paula. So that was the shed. Now here's the next part. She goes, Sam, tell me something. Why is my ex still calling me? I still ignore him. He calls you because you still have the same number. Period. I love you. Twista, Sam, I'm vexed. Okay. Well, 90% chance then you're not even going to need to go to the hospital. So that's a statistical science fact. And you're young, so you should be fine. But doesn't mean that you want to get COVID. You should buy a piece of land that is owner financed. Then buy one of these cool sheds. Well, the only problem with that is I really don't want to be entangled with an owner of the land and then live on his land and kind of like be paying him like a bank. I'd rather be entangled with a corporation bank or just fund it myself, because I want to buy a property from an entity and then be done with them and then deal with a bank or just be my own money. So owner financing can be tricky. There's different ways to do it. And most people do owner financing, which I looked into at a certain point in my journey when I didn't have enough. It's usually you can't get the loan from the bank, or the property is not able to get a loan on it. So you got to go through the owner. It's very much entangled. So you got to be very careful with that. UBG Vlogs. They look like a horse barn. Oh yeah, the sheds. Yeah, they're cute, but you just can't put them wherever you want. It's like an RV without wheels. So I have absolutely no problem living in one. Guys, I've lived in a car. I don't want to live in a big house. That's why, for me, even the middle one I'm looking at, it's like 600 square feet mobile home. I don't need all that space. The location is decent. It's the middle. The one that's 40 grand is like a fifth wheel. Okay. So it's, whatever, 300 square feet. That's great. The one by the beach is just a concrete pad. I'm just going to buy a $25,000 travel trailer, brand new. But the one by the beach, 200 grand plus 25 grand for a travel trailer, 225, man. The middle one, you probably around 140. The one 40 minutes from the beach, you're at 40. The cheapest one, guys, you feel like, oh yeah, I want that. It's tough, House hunting is like dating. Paul is going through both. When you get divorced, not only are you getting an emotional breakup, but now you got to divide the house. Very tough. Paula, I have this big house because of my pest of a cat, Ruger. Ruger's got a YouTube channel. Subscribe. He loves his house. Well, Paula, we love you and we appreciate your positive attitude. Paula, I actually feel a lot like yourself, Sam. Just not sure where to go. That's okay. When in doubt, I still believe in this. And I know you guys get tired of hearing it, but I believe in it. When in doubt, don't buy. Why? As long as you're taking care of what you need to. Worst case scenario, you save up money. And yeah, inflation is real, but it'll bleed out. It's bleeding out. Bitcoin go down. Other things happen. It'll go down. Believe me. Be careful. Oh, you fired Ozzy, your gay assistant? He was extremely rude towards me. Well, yeah, you don't need to be in a toxic relationship. I don't care who it is. Yeah, so you did the right thing. And Paula, you're very capable too. I've seen a lot of people. I've seen a lot of YouTubers, Unstoppable Morgan, Bob Wells. They hire assistants and they still don't get shit done. Hey, guys, an assistant is someone to pander to you and get your Starbucks. You're a grown woman. Okay, Bob Wells, a grown man. Okay. You don't need, these assistants. I tell you guys, you're very smart, capable people. I love you. ESP, if anyone needs assistance, me, I'm fucking running around doing everything. But I do it myself. Let's take pause. ESP, I want to get a Class B. I love you. I want to support you. Then a few years later, get a home base to park it on. Well, I support you. You've been nothing but supportive to me, and you're very positive and you're hardworking. She goes, I just found out that the Nissan just discontinued. Oh, did they? They discontinued the NV200? Oh, you should actually be happy about that. Why? Now your car is more valuable, like the Honda Element. ESP, you're sitting on a gold mine. That vehicle just appreciated. I wouldn't sell that NV200, but you do whatever you want. ESP, I support you 100%. I want to tell you, ESP, you're in a good position. UBG Vlogs, AK Paula. ESP, me buy an owner finance piece of land. Is that what you're going to do, Paula? Did you buy that piece of land in that video I saw? Paula, I'm thinking about buying the Lincoln. Oh, I remember the Lincoln Aviator. It was like a smaller version of the Navigator. The Navigators were hot in the 90s. And it comes in a plug-in hybrid electric. Has 494 horsepower. Everything is going to be hybrid electric by 2025. Just about, 50, 70% of vehicles. A lot more charging stations at these gas stations, guys. That's the direction. We got a super chat, $4.99. It's our brother, Pay to Nolan. Let's smack that laptop, brother. Revenue's up, $4.99. Would you ever live on a houseboat in a harbor community? Interesting enough, Pay to Nolan, I get that question a lot. I guess there's a lot of nomads that do that. I had a great viewer, Sailing John, used to be part of my original channel. I've always had the same channel, but he was one of my original viewers. Would I ever live on a houseboat? No. Why? Because I dated a girl that had a waterbed and I got seasick sitting on that. I like to I like a home base that's on solid ground, firm, no movement. I get seasick. 2 is, I don't want to live on water. I want to live on flat concrete pad. 3 is, I do like to drive. I don't want to drive all the time, but I don't want to get out of my boat to get into a car. And the way the water would be on that all the time, I wouldn't feel it. Just, for me, it doesn't inspire me. It doesn't speak to my daily routine. Whatever you buy has to enhance your daily routine. Now, if you're a boater, that would enhance your daily routine. I hate boating. Not because I hate people who boat. It's because it's just, to me, I don't want to be in the middle of the sea or the middle of a lake. I want to be in a car to get to Starbucks, to gym, then go back to a home base that's by the beach where I don't have to do much more driving. Good job. Good question. Back to the live comments. If I miss a comment, please type it again. We're on fire tonight, guys. Show up, show up, show up. I think we left off with, Cartoon Mark. Cartoon Mark's in the building. Show some love and respect to the most compassionate artist from upstate New York. He's married. He takes care of 2 children. He's got 2 jobs. He's a utility tracer and a cartoonist. Every MILF wants to get with Cartoon Mark. But I want to tell you this, Cartoon Mark. You left me hanging last night when I had the stalker come in your thing. I love you, though. Never block someone because of me. But I want to tell you, Cartoon Mark, that you are loved. Okay. Now, they did take down your thing that said, welcome home. I was very upset about that. I don't say, let's say positive. I tell you, I see how you came. You were very disappointed, too. I felt your pain. I'm not poking you. I don't believe in poking the bear. I'm just sharing with you. This is how I honestly felt. I wasn't saying this to get you upset. I don't poke the bear. I share with you. This is how I feel. I love you, Cartoon Mark. I love your family. I hate that they took down the sign, welcome home. And I hate the reaction you got. They said, oh, you've been home a month. Why do you need that up? What? I look like, what? I'll tell you, Cartoon Mark, let's stay positive. UBG Vlogs. Plus, I can tow a caravan. Well, that's interesting. Shout out to you and shout out to my man, Infinity. Infinity, thank you again for that tip. Thank you, Jack. Thank you, Pay to Nolan. I don't want to tow anything. I looked at that as a nomad. Look, the travel trailer is the cheapest RV, but you got to have a tow vehicle. And then when you add the tow vehicle and travel trailer, you're at $50,000 or up. Now, if I get a home base that's just an RV lot, I'm not getting a Class B. Why? Because I'm not going to get something that has a motor to sit the majority of its time on a lot. I'm going to get something that doesn't have a motor to sit on the lot as the home, and then a regular vehicle to do my daily routine. ESP. Something to think about, UBG Vlogs. Infinity, thank you again, brother. Shout out to everyone. He's got the Jeep Gladiator. Let's do it. Doug. I am looking at a Toyota Sienna. That's a minivan. A lot of people like this for nomad life. For $29K. That's reasonable. Is it used? It must be used because the new ones are damn near 50, right? Even though I don't like buying used, I'm not going to lie. Much cheaper than an RV, I agree, but it's used. But yeah, no doubt. Look, guys, I recommend a regular car for the beginning of your nomad life. Again, if you got money and you want to do whatever you want, do whatever you want. Okay, everyone should do it, but regular car for the win for me. At least in the beginning, until you figure out if you want to stay on the road. He goes, much cheaper than an RV. And I still do DoorDash side hustles, 100. And I'll tell you now, I'm seeing a lot more charging stations. I still say, man, if you got a plug-in, a hybrid plug-in, it doesn't have to be all electric. It shouldn't be all electric. A hybrid, which works off gasoline too, but also a plug-in. The stealth camping is still real with that. But I don't want to stealth camp anymore. That's the problem. You know, like that's a big calculation for me. It's like, why get a home base, Nomad? Well, if I don't get a home base, guys, I'm stuck in campgrounds. I'm not mad. I like campgrounds, but I always got to move around. And once you find out where you want to be, why do you want to move around? And I don't want to stealth park. I didn't work so hard, do everything I did to sleep in a parking lot, even though I don't look down on it. I've done it. But I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that anymore. It's not my long-term strategy. So, now, if I had to do it, I'll do it like I do. I already did it. But that's what I'm telling you. When you live in a nomad life, you know, that's something you got to think about before you invest in it. It's like the more money you spend on a vehicle, the more likely you're going to be in a Walmart, gym parking lot, rest area, truck stop your entire life. Now, maybe you got an inheritance or maybe you got enough money where you know you could always get out of the game. And I get it. But be careful. He goes, and I could still, yeah, and could sleep as a travel camp. We got to figure out a place to park, though. That's the main thing. As for me, I can sleep in my Camry. You can, but what parking lot are you going to sleep? That's what you got to think about. UBG Vlogs. Absolutely, ESP. You can swing by my land anytime. Paul is very positive. ESP. I sort of like what Chrome is doing. He has a shop to park his van. He has the best of both worlds, a place to rest between his travels. Yeah, well, respect to him, but I don't like a shop because I don't want to work on a vehicle. And it's not by the beach. So for me, the only thing a home base should do is enhance your daily routine. For me, I don't want to work on vehicles, so a shop doesn't work for me. It works for him. I'm just sharing. And two is, it's got to be in a location that you want to be, not just cheap land. So that's something I consider. Hal, what's up, brother? My man, 50 grand, what's up? What's the deal? Got through another day. It's amazing how we just keep getting through these days. And, yeah, look, another day without a house, but another day closer to death. Now, as a 41-year-old man who'll be 42 this year, I don't feel the same urgency. If I was 61, I would definitely be on this home base. Okay? But I found some good 55 and older communities for my older people. Look at those. But even at 41, guys, I want some stability because I figured out where I want to live. I mean, what do I want to do? Just stay on the road? Just stay on the road? Nah. Now, I don't want, you know, like I said, 200 and something thousand. It's still below my means, but it's right there. You know, I don't want to be much higher than that. I mean, I really wanted to be around 150. But you do get what you pay for. I'm not saying if you pay less, you're going to get something bad and you're going to be unsafe. I'm just saying it's part of the game. ESP. I read it. Plus, I don't really want to travel anymore. The only traveling I want to do is to see my mother once a year in the fall or to escape a hurricane. I don't want to travel the country anymore. I don't want to go on camping trips anymore. I just want to have enough flexibility that if a hurricane comes, I'm not worried about my lot. It's just a lot with a travel trailer that's insured. And I can go see my mother every year and she has a place to come, and etc. Hal, again, great to see you, brother. I hope you're doing well, and I thank you, Hal, for staying with me. I thank you for all that you've done for yourself. Love and respect. Twister, Sam, I acknowledge that nothing beats getting out there and doing the search yourself. Whether home-based or anything in life, I've learned this, and you live in your message. But that being said, how accurate, I'm going to come back to these other comments, but I want him to finish his thought. He goes, how accurate is Zillow and Realtor on their listings? I feel like they're barely show anything, when in reality, there's probably 3 times the amount of listings actually available. I wouldn't say there's 3 times the amount of listings. I wouldn't. There's some that are for sale by owner. Maybe you get a decent deal there, but inventory is at a record low in American history. So there's not this big glutton of inventory yet somewhere with regards to housing. But there is a gluttony of inventory with regards to RVing. I went to another RV lot today and another gluttony of inventory, but prices are still high. Why? Because you're going to have to go through a year of a gluttony of inventory. And this time next year, if RV sales have slowed down that much, then they'll drop the prices. But they don't just drop the prices because they got more inventory right away, because they made a lot of money these past couple of years. So you're going to have to wait to see how it plays out. And no one, guys, everyone, including, well, for me, I said we'll go into another recession, just like we did during 2008. What I didn't bank on, I mean, I knew the government would get involved, but not that quick. It took them a while to bail out the banks in 2008. The Federal Reserve, they snapped their finger. They lowered the interest rate to 0. They pumped money in the system like never before. That's what saved the economy. So that was and that, guys, at any time, now we know the government will just do like this. We just don't know when they do like this. That's why you got to be careful. Back to live comments. Pago. Hey, Sam. Fruitsville Falls, Michigan. Pat Go, one of the most positive barefoot people you ever meet in your life. Pat Go, we love you. I know that you traveled from Michigan to Arizona. Now you're back in Michigan for a doctor's appointment. Nomads again. You're going to end up back in same areas. I want to tell you, it's my 5 years as a nomad, watching nomads and being around nomads, because I lived a nomad life. I think 3 to 5 years is the nomad life expectancy. And even if you stay as a nomad, you end up in the same areas that you like. That's the reality, no matter how we want to say it. Is there something wrong with living in an RV or car and never owning property? No. Guys, why do you think I'm not in a rush? I'm not saying it's bad. Now, obviously, look, if you're sick, elderly, or low income, you're more vulnerable because you can't just snap your fingers. You don't have enough money. So you got to just be cautious of that, and where are you going to park? Some people say, yeah, you can park anywhere. Guys, you could take a shit anywhere, too. It's illegal. So how long do you want to play that game? Do you want to take a shit in a bush and just wait till you get a summons? Do you want to park stealth forever and wait till you just keep getting knocks and stuff? Eventually, this is what happens. See, this is nomads that haven't been in the game long enough and they disappeared during the pandemic. This is what they don't tell you. You get a knock once, they ain't going to bother you. They just tell you can't park here. You get a knock twice in the same town, same thing, they'll probably let it be. If you're in the same town and you get a knock 3 times, if it's a halfway decent town, they're going to say, we find you here again, we're going to impound your car. If it's a shithole of a town, guys, you're in a shithole of a town. In a nice town, that's what's going to happen. Never forget it. UBT Vlogs. I just refuse to pay for gas. Really? What are you going to do? Stay in the house? That's why I am now thinking about buying a big Aviator. It also gets 450 miles up to the gallon more, and you can tow up to 5,500. Well, just remember with regards to electric vehicles, you don't pay for gas, but you pay for electric. You pay per kilowatt. Electric vehicles, it may be a little bit cheaper than gasoline, but its main reason for going in that direction is sustainable energy, because there's only so much oil in the ground, and for environmental reasons. But instead of paying per gallon for gasoline, you're going to be paying per kilowatt, whether you're on electricity at your house or electricity at a charging station. Now, again, still cheaper, and probably the government's going to continue to subsidize it just like they subsidize gas. But you just got to remember, nothing's free. And those batteries need to be replaced every 10 years or so for the electric vehicles. Just remember that. Everything has cost involved, no doubt. Twista? Oh, yeah, I read this already. But yeah, I would say, look, in today's internet data-driven economy, Realtor.com and Zillow.com, while not an exact science, they are, I would say, 75 to 80% accurate with their data. Definitely. That goat. Even the Zillow estimates, a lot of people say those aren't even real. They're a lot better than they were 2, 3, 5 years ago. I want to tell you, the data they got now is a lot more reliable. Back to live comments. Back go. Looking forward to going back to Arizona. Well, I'm praying for you, your doctor's appointments. I'm praying that you stay positive. I know that's not easy. We love you, Pat, and we pray the best for your family and you and your health. Doug, that's pretty amazing, Paula. Do they come in a hybrid as well? Paula, if I go out and I buy a Mercedes Sprinter, it's going to cost me, easy over $150K. I do videos. I did one this morning. I posted it of the Thor Tranquility on a Mercedes Sprinter, $150K basically. Guys, girls, that's a middle of the ground home base. Where are you going to park that? In a gym parking lot? Where are you going to get that service? That a Mercedes? You're going to go to Jiffy Lube, get the oil changed? That's diesel gas, most of those Sprinters. Where are you going to go? RV park to park 150 grand Mercedes-Benz? Guys, those Mercedes-Benz Class Bs, they ain't in no low-end RV parks. They're in high-end RV parks. High-end RV parks above $1,000 a month. Now, maybe they're in some campgrounds, but campgrounds over $1,000 a month. And maybe they're in some gym parking lots and Walmart parking lots, but they're traveling. And if you ain't got enough money to stay at a campground and you bought a $150K Mercedes-Benz, guys, you hustling backwards. And I've been there. Be careful. UBG Vlogs. Yes, Doug. I've been doing research. I love my Lincoln MKZ hybrid. So the Grand Touring Aviator has a third row seating. Beautiful. Pego. I licked an icicle and my tongue froze to it. Wasn't there like a movie about Christmas and someone did that? Licked a pole. UBG Vlogs, laughing at Pat. UBG Vlogs, AK Paula. Ozzy doesn't know, this her cat. Oh no, her cat's Ruger. Ozzy doesn't know he has it easy with me. Oh, that was her gay assistant. He doesn't do shit. Well, if you're really going to get rid of him, just like your ex, you got to change your number. Peyton Nolan, thank you again for that gracious tip, brother. Thank you, Infinity, and thank you, Jack Burrs. Back to live comments. UBG Vlogs, AK Polo. I just need a cool travel trailer so I can take it off-road. The Aviator is 4x4. Okay, well, you have the tow vehicle. Now you need a travel trailer, brand new travel trailer. Going to be at least probably 25 grand. And then, look, when you go 4x4, when you go off-road, you may get more flats, and you're going in the middle of nowhere. No Starbucks, no gym. And to me, it's only so attractive for so long. Maybe for a couple weeks, great. Maybe even a couple months. But how long do you want to park a travel trailer in the middle of nowhere and look at nothing and do nothing? Maybe a couple weeks, couple months. But a couple years, that's a whole nother level. Be careful. UBG Vlogs. Thank you, Nolan. UBG Vlogs. Nolan. Pay to Nolan. Thank you, Paula, for the encouragement. Paula. Me too, Sam. I hate water. Like my cat, Ruger. Pago. I unfriended Frosty the Snowman on Facebook. Good. I'm done with Michigan. Pago. Now you're talking my language. UBG Vlogs. Is that where you live, Pat? Pat. Live or hibernate? Yeah. You're in hibernation mode in the winter now for these next 3 months. Anyone not living in Florida, I feel your pain. I've lived that life. Doug, that's why I find out where I want to live. Do I want to travel anywhere else? Definitely not in the winter. Even in the summer, I don't want to go back. Where do you want to go in the summer? Everywhere in the Northeast is crowded. The Pacific Northwest is crowded in the summer. Where are you going to go? Michigan? Michigan's even crowded, the lakes. Nah, for me, I always want to be by the ocean. And hurricane season don't get bad till September and October. And that's why I'm buying RV lot. Mitigate risk. Doug, did you get married, Cartoon Mark? Paula, laughing at Pat. Paula, Doug, have you heard of Hop, Skip, Drive? I haven't heard of that. Cartoon Mark, Doug, I'll never marry anyone. But we have lived together for many years. Well, I think Andrew Cuomo has basically said you're in a joint you're in a joint venture. I love you, brother. Doug, Paula, no, I've not. Paula, I got an email with them begging me with a bonus to drive for them. Oh, this is like DoorDash or Uber? The money is much better than Uber. Oh, it must be like Uber. Yeah, they want to get you in initially, and then it's probably drop off. It's probably not as big customer base. They have a lot more options over there on the West Coast with that type of stuff because of the technology over there. Doug, Sam, the Sienna is 2 years old. Yeah, I don't like to buy used vehicles. I'm not saying I'm right all the time with that, but that's my overall mindset if I can help it. UBG Vlogs, what major metro city are you in? Doug, Paula, Portland, Oregon, metro area. Twister, Sam, have you seen the new Jeep Grand Wagoner? I saw a brief clip of it, but not enough to say I fully investigated it. It's just like a Mercedes G-Class. I'm not interested. It's starting at $88K. I'm definitely not interested. I get a Winnebago Solus for $75K before I do that. It's nice. I live in that too, but then I have nowhere to park. That's the problem. Oh, you can park anywhere, guys. You can take a shit anywhere too. It's illegal. It's nice, but I'm not down to sell my soul for it. Yeah, look, guys, I bought expensive vehicles in my 20s and paid for it in my 30s. You got to live your life. UBG Vlogs, the base fare is around $16. Okay, that's not bad. Doug, Mark, neither will I. I saw your comment say, Doug, single for life. Pull up. That's why I want to separate caravan, and then I buy a black Aviator and do rideshare. Okay. In the AM when school's out. Okay. UBG Vlogs, Zum pays good money too. I never heard of that. Paula says, is Mark here? He's here, I think. I think he's still here. Paula, I don't see him. He was here. Doug, good to know, Paula. Thank you. My main job is shake ground, so I'm preparing. Oh, it's on shaky ground, I guess he must. Paula, my referral codes are also in the description of Hop, Skip, Drive videos. I'll check them out. Love to, Paula. Paula, so smart, Doug. Better to be prepared than have it shock the crap out of you. I agree. That's why we live below our means. We get another job before you quit your current job. Never forget it. Yep. Doug says Paula exactly 100. Paula, I'm always around on YouTube. I know. I respect you. I love you. Just let me know if I can assist you with any questions. You're very nice. The rideshare guy also had these videos of mine on his channel. Everyone likes you, Paula. Paula, I'm also a contributor on the other people's channel. I want to tell you, Paula, you do have a very positive, uplifting spirit. I can swear I'm trying to be proper. Yeah, you're being pretty proper. Doug, Paula, those are some beautiful horses. Her horse videos. Paula, Sam, even though I wasn't on your live stream when you were talking about writing things down, so I'm being pretty good about taking notes. Paula, you're on fire. Paula, I'll be putting solar panels on my rooftop, and it's mainly a hybrid. It's only 21 miles on electric. Well, this is what I want to tell you about solar. It can't run an air conditioner for the most part, depending on your batteries. For the most part, no. And it can't run a heater. All solar does is charge your electronics, your phone, your laptop, and run a fan. You really don't need solar. All you need is an inverter pack. If that, solar is the most overhyped thing for most people. Not for every situation, for most people. She goes, the EV charging anywhere. Yeah, EV charging's everywhere now. It's really getting out there. I see them building them. Paula, exactly. It's Mercedes Sapphire 4-wheel drive. That I want. I'm going off-roading. I'm not mad at you, Paula, but I much prefer to have a cool car and separate caravan. I don't like off-roading. I don't like bumpy riding. I want to be in a yuppie area, flat surface, by the beach, by Starbucks, and a gym. Good job. Paula, sorry, guys, for all these comments. Hey, believe me, people love your comments. Why? Most people just want to watch, but please share. Don't hate on me. Hey, screw it. If people hate, let them hate. But I do crypto trading too. You're high energy. Paula, I can work anywhere, but I'm exhausted just thinking about it. Totally understand that. Doug, Paula, you're a diamond multifaceted. Paula, forget the damn horse now. He can just stay home with that cat Ruger. I want to tell you guys, horse, a lot of money, a lot of work. And a cat, also the same. Pull up. They pay a lot of bucks. Horse is a lot of money. Pull up. Doug, that is nothing. You should see me when I'm on Crypto Channel. Oh, UBG Vlogs, Zoom. UBG Vlogs, Zoom, Zoom, Zoom. Brando, what's up, brother? Hey, Sam. Do you prepare your own meals or do you eat out? I eat out every day. Starbucks, salads, either at the supermarket or even some gas stations have good salads. And that's it. Yeah, I don't cook at all. Even if I get a home base, probably have a travel trailer or something, I'll probably do limited cooking and I'll budget for that no matter what I buy. I don't like cleaning, don't like cooking, don't like preparing. UBG Vlogs, I'm very positive. Yeah, you are very positive. Yeah, you're asking, I think, over. Now, I don't live with you. If you live with someone very different than a YouTube live stream, but guys, we know that. So let's just be positive in a live chat because we all got our own lives and we all our own stresses. UBG Vlogs, he eats out all the time. Brando, okay. Thank you, Brando, for the comment. Thank you, Brando, for coming in. Brando, we love you, brother. Brando, UBG Vlogs, doesn't like to do this. Paula, you're paying attention. Good job. Thanks, Brando. Brando, we love you. Paula, not my hybrid. Using the power charges the battery. Paula, you're welcome. All my comments he had to read out, Brando. That's right. Pat, go. Are there any closed steel mills in Southeast Florida? I haven't seen any. I know Mark's got some in upstate New York. I know I worked at an old paper mill in New Jersey, industrial plants, refineries, pharmaceutical plants. In Southeast Florida, there's not that big of a, it's not the Rust Belt, it's the Sun Belt. Never forget it. UBG Vlogs, hand in her face. UBG Vlogs, horse emoji. Brando, nice, very convenient. UBG Vlogs, sorry everyone, sorry. UBG Vlogs, and be kind to each other. I gotta work on that, but I am very kind. But online, sometimes people piss me off. Brando, spread the love, man. Trying to be more positive. Guys and girls, we did it again, an hour live feed. I showed up, you showed up. ESP. Today, I saw a Ram ProMaster City with a trailer. See, well, let me continue reading. The roof had a very discreet solar panel, so I know it was a Nomad. No Nomads are discreet. Not to a Nomad and not to a cop. Why? Because if a cop is trained to patrol and to notice the homeless so they can document it, and notice people, guys, if you have a solar panel, I don't care if you have a ProMaster City or a high-top van, you are on a radar. If you have window covers or dark tints, you're on a radar. If you're parked in the same areas every day, you're on a radar. Look, there is a level of stealth, obviously, but the main stealth is moving around a lot, not staying in an area for more than an hour, not going to the same parking lot every night, and most people not doing that. So no one's stealth for the most part. Good job. She goes, the trailer was almost as large as the van. Definitely not stealth. Very close to the size of the van. I've seen people do that. Am I mad at them? No. Again, there's a lot of nomads that are just human. And they have the storage unit mentality. I know a nomad that has two vehicles. He lives out of one, he drives the other. Should I judge him? No. Should I observe it and say, man, that's wild? Yeah. Just for my opinion, not for me being negative. So, look, for me, my dream is not to have two vehicles, a cargo trailer, and stealth park. My dream is to live by the beach or, I don't know, maybe I'd be willing to buy something cheap away from the beach, but I just don't know if I'd price myself out then down the road, Let's stay positive. Good comment, ESP. Paula, Sam, I just figured out something, what you're doing. What am I doing? UBG Vlogs, love Ram, but prefer Ram pickup. Paula, solar on the roof. Thumbs down. UBG Vlogs, cops love me too. Hey guys, look, you ain't gonna hide from law enforcement. Why? Because they're trained to patrol. Okay, and when you go to the same spot every day, it doesn't matter how much tint you have, doesn't matter what you have. People notice that you're in the same spot. Guys, what do you think? No one knows? Now you got a van with no windows. Oh, yeah, nothing's going on here, guys. Come on, guys. UBG Vlogs. So I'll be selling Stinky Linky to a good home. Oh, is that your horse? Huh. Oh, Paul also said, not in my car. You think I'm the FBI in my car. Everyone runs in the hood. Well, not everyone runs in the hood. Some people shoot, make you run. You better be careful. I want to tell you that. So, guys, girls, Paco says, is Slinky Linky your pet snake? You guys and girls are positive. I love you. I respect that everyone is on their own journey. Remember, I want to enforce that. Whatever journey you're on, live your journey. But be cautious on how much you spend, because then you don't determine your journey. You are now so knee deep in a journey that you can't get out. You got to have an exit strategy, and you got to live below your means. Now, should you live at the top of below your means? We'll see. Doug says, Paula, I'm picturing you as Elizabeth Keene. I don't know who that is. All right, guys and girls, thank you for watching. Keep showing up. Do the best you can. Try to be kind, but don't get abused. And if you're not on the same page with someone else, like I want to say, Paula, she's in a very toxic relationship with her ex. She just fired her gay assistant. And she said, be kind to everyone. I love Paula because she's kind to me. But sometimes people think I'm not kind because I block people right away or I tell them leave. But the opposite is, I don't tell you to leave. I try to be kind. You stay around. You end up like Paula's ex or her gay assistant. Either way, now you're in a toxic relationship with me. See, I just tell you, look, it ain't going to work. And then you say I'm being mean. But if I tell you it's going to work and it ain't going to work, that's like me breaking up with you and not changing my number. You know you're coming back. And you know you still ain't getting a D. And now you upset with me. And I've been told you ain't getting a D. Okay, good job. Paula, yep, that's me. I love you, though. A good girl with a bit of gangster, Paula. We love you, and I want to say that again. We love you. You're very awesome. Everyone, I love you. Thank you to all my members. Thank you to all the gracious super chats. Keep pushing forward as best you can. Love and respect to everyone out there. Thank you. Paula, you can change your number. Shit. If you could trade crypto, you can change your number. Never forget it.